Across Uganda, climate change has increased occurrences of droughts and floods, leading to loss of life and destruction of property. A case in point is the 2013 large-scale flooding in the Kasese district. Heavy rains caused rivers to burst their banks, which led to heavy floods in 9 sub-counties of the district. Around Kilembe mines, the fast running water and boulders destroyed several bridges and houses. More than 25,000 people were affected by the floods.
Floods is one of the manifestations of climate change. Kasese as a region, when you look at it, there is a lot of degradation. The bush burning, the deforestation, the poor methods of farming, all contribute a lot of carbon to the atmosphere. And this is sincerely human activity. And this is responsible for the global warming. And therefore, these issues of climate change happening in this district, we have every reason to blame ourselves.
In order to increase the farmers' appreciation of the linkages between climate change and environmental degradation, the Development Network of Indigenous Voluntary Associations, DENIVA, in partnership with USAID, implemented a 2-year project to improve local stakeholders' readiness to adapt to climate change in agriculture.
Around 2 years ago, we reached to USAID and said, look here, I think we need to increase the number of farmers in rural areas that are ready to adapt to climate change. The causes are already there, they are beyond us. The effects are here, they are beyond us. So the only ability we have is to adapt, to cope, to find a solution. And the emphasis is only to get as many farmers ready with knowledge about the causes, the effects, and adaptation alternatives.
To increase farmers' knowledge on climate change adaptation, DENIVA established 36 neighborhood assemblies in 6 pilot districts, namely Kasese, Kamwenge, Ibanda, Mayuge, Jinja, and Kamoli. A neighborhood assembly is a democratically elected parliament comprising of 50 people and operating at the local community level. Through the neighborhood assemblies, 1,800 farmers regularly hold discussions about climate change adaptation and present solutions for adoption.
In each district, we have 300 farmers who come together on a monthly basis. Some of the things they have started working on are influencing local government, particularly to come up with ordinances, bylaws in managing their environment, the wetlands, bush burning, charcoal burning. In some cases, they have had to come out and actually sign agreements with private sector people, like in Kasese with Victoria Seeds, which is going to start supplying them with improved varieties of beans and maize. You find that farmers always fear the private sector people. They are always working through middle men or women. But when they are organized in these numbers, they are able to bargain and avoid the counterfeits, avoid the fraudsters, and be able to get enough income out of what they have produced.
If you are a member of Victoria Seeds, either if you are working in partnership with Victoria Seeds, we don't charge our groups or our farmers who are down there. They are sure of the trainings, good agronomic practices like land preparation, land selection, seed selection, early planting, early weeding. Like we even give them post-harvest trainings.
Through this partnership, we are also able to bridge that gap, because people think that everything is government. Farmers are able to appreciate that government can partner with the private sector to deliver service to us, the population.
In this project, neighborhood assemblies are being used as a forum to transform the farmers' knowledge, attitude, and practices on climate change adaptation using simple but coordinated ways through individual involvement and participation.
Before, we trained our people how they can maintain this coffee. One plant of coffee, we could pick there 1 kilogram. Then after our training, at least 1 tree of coffee, a farmer can pick there 5 kilograms. Out of 100 people, at least 70 people, when you visit them, you find that their gardens and fields are well organized. We hope that when they continue practicing what they are learning, we shall achieve much.
They can now export directly on a receipting system, and also their savings have actually increased very, very well. Therefore, they can be in a position to pay school fees for their children, they can be able to pay for their medical, but also their social welfare, the family welfare has also increased.
In the district of Kamwenge, house-to-house sensitization on the effects of climate change led to a number of farmers committing to plant trees within their homesteads and by their road reserves. Farmers resolved that each household in the neighborhood assembly plant a minimum of 10 trees. One member even went the extra mile by establishing a 10,000 tree woodlot on a 5-acre piece of land.
Tukyali baana ensozi zonna zonna nga zali kwegamba nga wajjuddemu emiti enkuba yali tebula nabo abantu bwe batandika okweyongera kati ne batandika okutema emiti kati omusana gutwokya nnyo ku lw'embeera emiti bagimalamu nagezaako okumobilizinga bannange abalina ensozi tusimbe emiti naye abalala tebakifaako naye waliwo budget gye bakoze ku district bagala especially ensozi ez'en Mayolo sub county buli mutuuze yenna alina akasozi at least asimbemu emiti 10 tulabe nga tuzaawo obutonde bwaffe.
The neighborhood assemblies of the Mayolo sub-county, which borders Lake George, have put in place committees to monitor the protection of wetlands on the lake shores. These committees also identified over 40 farmers who were encroaching on swamps and sensitized them to protect the water bodies and use them sustainably.
Ekikaya kiriyo ekibira kyona konka haba okugira ngu abantu bakatuuramu emiti egimwe bagitema kandi twekitwabire takutwara nka kikuru nije nagambira bataahi banje okutushemereire kurinda ebyobuhangwa kuko mukura tusimbire enkondo egye pata erikusigara oku side y'omugyera egyo tugisigire kandi n'aha nyanja mita 200 nazo zisigireyo.
These people invaded the swamp, not necessarily because they want to dig in the swamp, but because of lack of land, population pressure. And in so doing, they cannot easily get out, but they have to be sensitized. And how do they doing it? Through these neighborhood assemblies, when they come together and then they agree.
DENIVA continues to register evidence of increased knowledge on climate change among the target farmers who have established model gardens for beans and maize, taken up better farming methods, planted trees, and used improved seed varieties, as is the case with the Uganda Women's Guild.
According to climate change, other types of bean failed, but this one, the yellow bean, it yields much in this area. So we got an advice from the agriculturists and all the members accepted to plant that type of bean. And we involve men because women don't own what? Land.
At our school and even at our home, we should always plant what? Trees.
We have a member, the teacher. He said he will teach the students and take the message to the parents about climate change. So far, our members have seen what is good in doing this work.
So now I was supposed to teach these people so that they can protect the environment because they are next generation. They have acquired the knowledge which they will use at their home. The members of the community, they come to school and look at the school environment, they look at the trees, they look at the plantations, and they also get to know that we need to plant trees in our homes. We need to match our gardens so that they can grow well. So they have also acquired that one from the school.
District officials have in turn gotten involved by giving technical information and support during the neighborhood assembly sessions in some of the districts like Kamuli in eastern Uganda.
You find somebody clearing all the 5 or 6 acres of trees with the fruits, replacing them by growing sugar cane. So that brought a very big windbreak. So many houses were removed, schools. So the district, as per now, they have reached an extent of saying, how can they really green Kamuli? How can they change Kamuli to be green? So this is a demonstration where the Cultural Institute, also the Chabazinga, came in. They said, fine, we can contribute now the land, where there is Chabazinga land, it's ready for us. It's ready for the neighborhood assembly. And then the district is also ready to contribute, as it's now started, contributing their expertise and also following up to see what we are doing on the ground.
To increase the farmers' and communities' knowledge on climate change adaptation in agriculture, the neighborhood assembly members are now using music and drama skits to make learning about climate change, its effects, causes, and adaptation options practical and easy to understand.
The level of education in our communities is very low. Out of our sharing, we felt that we must have a tool to see that they can engage, they can participate. So this peer-to-peer education tool of drama and poem, it does not end there alone, but it is also passed over to the next generation. The teachers can also put it in practice. They can sit in class and talk about it 5-10 minutes. So it's something, a culture we are trying to put them into these ones.
For farmers in Mayuge district, the concept of climate change was poorly understood and its translation in the local language did not convey its global causes and context. Through the neighborhood assembly, many farmers can now in their own ways explain why their weather patterns and environment are changing. They are using role plays both to explain the changes they have witnessed and to process new information on climate change and adaptation strategies.
Bwe twasoma twasalawo okusobola okuboneka nga basomesa amasiga ag'omulembe agasobola okukekereza ki okukekereza enku. Mu myezi 3 tusobola okuzimba amasiga 65. Ife kitulaze nti abantu baife balina demand y'amaani ate era bategeire climate change niki. So mpegano buti emiti okutemwa kutono.
As a result of increased awareness to climate change, the farmers in Mayuge district identified areas for diversifying their livelihoods. They opted for fish farming, which not only contributes to food security, but also reduces the overdependence on land as a natural resource.
The locals around the lake, the river banks or the lake bank have resulted in ferrying sand as an activity to increase their incomes in homes. But as the result, as they are degrading the lake, you find that their homes also are being washed off. We've gone to those people staying around the lake banks, like in Ibukagabo parish, where there's a neighborhood assembly. When we happen to have trained them on adoption, they prefer to adopt and say, let's go into cage fishing. So we brought them people who are trained and we gave them capacity to the extent that these people are allowed to collect money collectively, and they formed up a group of 35 people. We've demarcated the area where the cage is. That shows that that area is a breeding area, so it is helping the lake to regain.
Tulikwenda cage fishing iningi edonga diliwo ningi such that emotoka nga ditwala at least every day nga ditwala ngege mukatale buli muntu yabanga ali kunumirwa yafuna akasente akokulya akokwambaza abantu be nakokufuna school fees.
When farmers receive enough knowledge about climate change adaptation and create linkages with the relevant actors, they can come up with joint actions to improve their resilience to climate change impacts.
We hope that many stakeholders can actually know it is possible to increase the numbers of farmers to perhaps 1 million, 2 million, 3 million that are competent in identifying causes, effects, and adaptation options across the country. What needs to be scaled up are some of the initiatives that courageous farmers who have been exposed to this knowledge have started to take up. And for more farmers in self-help spirit to multiply them.